Well, I've progressed on a bit more now. All body panels, which were previously shown painted, have now been fitted to the chassis. Again, this is only a mock-up. They'll probably have to come off again, but at the moment they're looking like a good fit. Right, I've now fitted the seats, as you can see, and the dash panel's now in. So that's all now done. That's all been now wired up and checked out. Gear linkage over on the right hand side, that needs some covers putting on it for IVA. You can see the door release. And then if we go over to the driver's side, right, so if we now turn on the ignition, all pretty lights light up, and then I've got some bright interior lighting, so that lights up the footwell underneath. So yeah, it's beginning to come together. I've also fitted aircon controls down in the right hand side. Again, I've got to make a cover to go over those to give me the correct radius for the IVA. The handbrake system will be down here. Again, I've got to make a cover. The way that will work is you'll have an energize button or energize switch that will power up the brakes, but nothing will happen, and then lift up the cover, push forward and release. That will energize the rear brakes because they're electric, and the light will come on there. And then to take them off, pull back once and release, and they will come off and the light will go off. And then you can make it safe and double safe. The reason I've added this extra switch here is that's an actual big air gap between power and the actual electronics that controls the handbrake. What I don't want to happen is that if the power is always onto the electronics and something goes wrong in the electronics for whatever reason, I don't want it applying the power to the brakes, because that would be quite serious if you do 100 miles an hour and the handbrake comes on. So that to me is an air brake between the electrical contacts. There is no way that the handbrake can come on if that switch is in the off position. Right, that just about sums it up. You can see it's now all been carpeted out inside. I've got to tidy up the pedal area. I still haven't done the hydraulics for the brakes, although the hydraulics for the clutch system is now operational and the clutch works, so I'm happy with that. What else can we show you? Again, it's all been carpeted and covered up on top. Windscreen is in but not bonded in. I've done the rear window. Let's just turn those lights off a moment. Right, yeah, rear window's fitted. I must confess that was a pain in the ass to do, but it's now done. All the ECU and the electronics is behind the driver's seat, which I'll just move. The seats are adjustable, as you can see I've just moved it forwards. So that's all the electronics there, the ECU, and also there'll be a box going down there for the handbrake. I'll just move the seat back. There we go. So that's the seat back, and again, passenger seat is also adjustable. I should be doing a cutout. You can see I've marked it there, and a little box underneath. That'll be a hand grip for closing the door. And on the rear, I've got the cover to go over the vent for the exhaust, and there'll be a nice aluminium panel that goes around the outsides of the trumpets fixed to the body where the holes are. You can just about make those out, I think. That will tidy that area up. Obviously got to fit the screen on the back. At the rear, I've got to do the lighting and the covers. Yeah, loads and loads of things still to do. Although it is now beginning to look like a car. Also got to do the stripes. White stripe down the middle. And the sidewinder stripes to go along on the sides. But that's where we're at the moment. Right, so instrument layout is speedometer, clock, left-hand fuel tank, right-hand fuel tank, battery voltage, oil temperature, oil pressure, rev counter, water temperature. And the buttons, that's I think that resets the speedometer, I can't remember now. That sets the clock. That's the interior light. Heated front screen, front fog, rear fog, side lights. Where are we? There we are. Side lights, headlights, main beam, and just in there is hazard, and then you've got left, right, and you've got wiper 2-speed, washer, horn, and then heated seats, ignition on and off. That's the radiator fan override, engine start, alright, engine start, and then you've got alternator failure or engine not running, low oil pressure, that tends to come on to let you know it's all gone bang, and up there is the hydraulic test button and low fluid warning. Well, obviously there's no fluid in there at the moment, so it's on. And the last switch is this one, which is the fuel transfer from the right hand tank to the left hand tank. I am adding a stalk coming out from here, which will do also left, right, and flash and horn on the end. And then down here we got the aircon controls. So we got with the switch off in the up position, then you can hear the fan running. So that's a 3-speed heater fan. And then below that is the aircon. So again, if you switch down onto the aircon position and then select a low temperature, you can just see an LED's come on there. Where are we? There we are. Now that shows that the aircon is working. You control the aircon temperature there. When you select aircon, a valve closes in the heater line water supply so that you don't end up cooling and heating at the same time. A couple of vents added either side, and I've still got to do the heating venting from underneath. That's got to be added. As you can see underneath. So at the back there, that's the heater inlet. As you can see, the steering wheel's not actually attached at the moment, so I've got to run left and the right to the left and the right eyepieces, and then the other two will direct down to the feet. So doing it that way and putting the heater unit in the front area is released quite a lot of space. So that completes that side of it. Once again, thanks for watching.